This is the Big Bad Boot.
We're siblings who explore spooky and scary stories, urban legends, tall tales, and true crime, all located in this crazy state that's shaped like a boot. A podcast about the weird state you wish you were from.
Hosted by the weird siblings you wish you had.
Have you ever looked at someone's head and thought, that noggin would look a whole lot better with a custom hat on it? I have. Or maybe you're looking in the mirror and thinking, I would be the talk of the town if I just had a custom hat on top of my dome. Well, Three Magnolias is here to make your wildest hat dreams come true.
Nice.
Imagine this. You're at a party, maybe a birthday, a tailgate, or even a bachelorette extravaganza. I've been to a couple of those. Suddenly, Three Magnolias rolls in with their traveling custom hat bar, and the crowd goes wild. They set up shop anywhere in Louisiana and most of Mississippi, bringing all the hat styling accessories you could ever want. They'll size you up. I've got a big noggin, so mine would be very large. They let you choose from a variety of styles and colors and help you create a one-of-a-kind hat that reflects your personality. Whether you want them to match a specific outfit or just make you stand out in the crowd, they've got you covered. But wait, there's more.
Ooh.
Three Magnolias even offers on-site branding so you can represent your business or personalize your hat with initials. That's cool. Plus, the host of the party gets a special discount on their hat because why should only the guests have all the fun? If you can't make it to the party, no problem. You can still get in on that hat action, that sweet, sweet hat action with their virtual hat bar. It's like online shopping, but with a hat on top of it. So if you're ready to take your hat game to the next level, follow Three Magnolias on Instagram and Facebook. Just search Three Magnolias & Co. and shoot them a DM to book your party or place a custom order. Just search Three Magnolias, shoot them a DM to book your party or place a custom order. Three Magnolias & Co. Hat Company. Turning heads one hat at a time. Hello and welcome to the Big Bad Boot. I'm Kati.
And I'm not.
He never is. He never is. And this is a podcast about the weird state you wish you were from.
Hosted by the weird siblings you wish you had.
Hey, I just got to tell you, love your print.
Oh, thanks. It says Couillon.
Couillon. And mine says, pour myself a cup of ambition from our queen and almighty goddess Dolly Parton.
The queen mother.
Our
Dolly
shirts
Parton.
are from Sweet Baton Rouge. Thank you guys for sending us some free shirts and supporting us from like literally episode 1.
Yeah, that's true.
They were up in the DMs like on episode 1. So we love you, Sweet Baton Rouge. Thanks for the shirts. Y'all go get you some. But yeah, I like that Couillon shirt. It's a...
Me too. I got another one too that just says like, c'est bon.
What's that mean?
It's so good.
Oh, it is so good.
I know.
And you got like...
And they're comfy.
They're very soft.
They are.
It matches your glasses, which I like your Harry Potter glasses today.
Thanks. My contacts wouldn't go in.
I was about to say you had contact issues.
Yeah, yesterday was so long that last night I was one of those like coma sleeps to where I was like drooling.
Yeah, you didn't know where you were when you woke up?
No, my eyes were so puffy, I couldn't get the contacts in. It was ridiculous. It was too much.
Yeah. You need LASIK surgery.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why?
Because you're awake.
It's the best thing I ever spent money on, I think.
I've had so many surgeries. I'm over it.
Caleb, when I sat up from the table, there's a fly. See, with my LASIK, I can see it. You couldn't see that fly because you don't have LASIK.
No.
When I sat up from the table, I could see.
I also remember you crying.
Sorry, I'm going to get the fly.
I can also remember you crying because your eyes itch so bad.
But that was temporary. It lasted like 2 days. It's fine.
I'm okay.
It's a miracle of science.
I'm fine.
Get it? No. For those of you who aren't watching, there's a fly that's pestering us. We're going to get it.
It's fine.
No. But you pull off glasses. Not a lot of people can.
Thanks.
No.
I do like them.
Say something nice about me.
It
shouldn't take you that long. Move on.
You look like a homeowner. Yeah.
Not officially.
Not officially, but
we put in an offer on a house and
it got accepted.
It's literally a house that we are in love with. We're not going to say where it is or how much we paid for it.
Their address is.
No, but we love it so much and I hope it goes through. And what's funny is we planned a little weekend getaway to Florida.
Yeah.
The day our offer got accepted. And as we're pulling into the Airbnb, we got the call that the offer was accepted. And Michael looked at me and he said, we better enjoy this trip because we're poor now.
Literally.
And
That's
I'm
true.
like, you right.
I can't. I can't afford anything until the economy
It is
gets
rough
better.
out here in these streets.
This episode is sponsored by our friends at 22 Aesthetics. Come experience the power of professional skincare and wellness at 22 Aesthetics in Beatico. Stop wishing you had glowing skin and get it. Stop wishing you'd lose weight and let us help you. What we're trying to say is don't make a wish, make an appointment. Ooh, love that tagline.
You love that.
Yeah. We offer laser treatments like hair removal and IPL, custom facials, chemical peels, skin pin micro needling, toxin and fillers, medical weight loss, hormone management, vitamin injections, and medical grade skincare products. Lord have mercy. Wow.
It's a whole production.
I love it. Remember, your body loves you, so love it back and come see us at 22. Keep up with us on Facebook and Instagram at 20.2.aesthetics. Dude, it is rough. Speaking of rough, can I tell you what transpired over my last week?
Sure.
Listeners, since you last saw me, let me just go through the
Where's this going?
tragedy that my last week was.
Okay.
So it's going to move pretty fast.
Ready.
So lock in. Friday, on my way home from work, I got rear-ended. Sunday, there was that whole fiasco, which I'm not going to say, but the hospital thing.
Oh.
Won't dive into detail, but that was fun.
It was with a family member. They're fine now.
Yeah, they're fine. And it's not super serious, but they're fine. And then Tuesday, on my way home from work, the same spot I got rear-ended, I saw like a horrible car accident and had to like sit with this woman that broke both of her legs in the accident. And she was like kind of elderly.
How did you not vomit?
I have no idea.
Because you're very queasy.
I have no idea. I just kept like looking at her and not looking down. Ugh.
Like if I see somebody break a bone in a movie and I even know it's fake, like I actively tell myself it's fake, I'm like, bleh.
Yes. And then I leave there, go to Bible study because I needed like an extra dose of Jesus that day. And then on the way home, I got the call that mom had like her giant fall at tennis and almost had a concussion and like a broken tailbone and blah, 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 which she's fine now.
Our mom was being an absolute
Superstar.
Athlete in tennis and fell and hit her head, her noggin and her butt.
Dude, poor baby. If you're not listening, if you're watching, she has to sit like this all the time.
And now every time I call her, I'm like, how's your butt?
Poor thing.
Everybody's falling apart in our family, dude. I'm going to the chiropractor now. I take anti-inflammatories.
I take antacids every day.
Woo.
Whoever has my voodoo doll,
leave it alone.
Set it down. Or throw a Xanax in its skinny little mouth. Something. I'm tired.
I is tired. I need to take a nap.
Somebody bring me some oxygen.
But I want to go back to what you did for that old lady in the wreck. If I got in a wreck and you were there to help me, I think you'd be a very pleasant person to help.
Yeah, I'm shockingly very calm under...
They wouldn't want me.
Lots of stress at once. I'm okay with it.
If I would have saw a broken leg, I would be passed out and they would also have to help me. So...
I had to focus on literally anything else.
But everybody's okay? I mean, it was all...
I think so. Like, she got in the ambulance and, like, the other party that was involved, he was fine. Like, from the jump. He was okay. Poor thing. It was rough.
We hope, if they're listening, we hope that they're okay. We're glad God protected them and there was nothing more serious.
Yeah.
But
and you know where it was? Pulling out of Dom and Gina's road.
Oh, that's my in-laws. For those of you who are like, who are Dom and Gina? Those are my in-laws.
That's a rough little spot.
Well, don't say where it is in case
I'm not.
They don't. Okay.
Well,
they might not want their
address
and their social security numbers put out on the big bad boot.
No, but it is a dangerous little.
It is. It's a very quick curve with not a lot of time. But hey, you're here. You made it. You looking good. You've lost a little weight.
I have, and I love it. I feel better, but I'm in that awkward stage of my weight loss to where like I haven't lost enough to where I want to go spend a whole bunch of money on new clothes, but I don't really fit in a lot of things right now. Like,
nothing fits right.
These pants, every time I sit down, I have to pull them over like my first roll of fat.
Your fupa?
Yeah, my fupa. I have to pull it over that because if I don't, they fall off.
Yeah.
Which, slay. But.
So you think I'm skinny? No, you look good.
It was lit. I really looked good yesterday.
Oh.
That fit for the polo match.
Mm-hmm.
My friend, Savannah. My friend Savvy Watkins is a semi-professional polo player.
With the horses.
Yes. Dude, she is such a baddie.
That's really cool.
Like, it was so cool. And like to watch her do something so amazing and what she's passionate about was awesome. But me and her girlfriend, Kate, boots the house down.
It was
both of us.
fun.
Oh, man. And we looked awesome.
What's her horse's name?
Honey.
Aw.
Yeah.
We should put a little Papa Kelly's honey on her little saddle thing.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? A saddle?
A saddle.
Okay.
Yes. I learned a lot. About
Is it like
polo.
is it like Quidditch? I know a whole lot about Quidditch,
It's
the fictional
like-
wizard game.
No, it's like croquet on horses. Because poor Kate, Savannah's girlfriend, was trying to explain it to me the entire time. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. She was like, it's basically croquet on horseback.
You're like, I don't even understand football, so
At all.
yeah.
Throw that thing in for a home run.
Go team.
Sports.
Go
Yeah,
sports.
I can't.
Yeah. Well, what are we talking about? But we've been this is the
I've
longest
got a
we've rambled.
good one.
I'm excited for yours. You go first this week.
Yes.
All right. I'm a passenger princess. Let's
Okay.
roll.
Let me. Okay. Are we ready?
I'm Rhett.
We're going to open with a letter.
Oh, I thought you were about to say a dramatic monologue.
No.
Okay.
The letter states, Hell, March 13th, 1919. Esteemed mortals of New Orleans, they have never caught me and they never will. They have never seen me, for I am invisible even as the ether that surrounds your earth. You better get into it.
Let's get into it.
I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians and your foolish police call the Axeman.
Let's go.
Period.
Let's go.
Undoubtedly, you Orleanians think of me as a most horrible murderer, which I am, but I could be much worse if I wanted to.
Oh.
Tell me how you
mean-
feel. At will, I could slay thousands of your best citizens, for I am in close relationship with the angel of death.
He knows Satan on a personal basis.
He's clout chasing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be exact, at 12:15, and this is hilarious, he put parentheses, earthly time, on next Tuesday night.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
You know, it is funny because I'm like,
He's
come
kind
on.
of a diva.
Anyway,
Don't assume I don't know earthly time.
right. Now, to be exact, at 12:15 earthly time on next Tuesday night, I am going to pass over New Orleans. In my infinite mercy, I am going to make a little proposition to you people. Here it is. I'm very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions. Is this a Robert Frost poem? Like, who are you? Anyway, I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at the time I have just mentioned. If everyone has a jazz band going, well, then so much better for you people. One thing is certain, and that is that some of you people who do not jazz it out.
Wait, is it jazz hands?
On that specific Tuesday night, will get my axe.
I thought, okay, but
That's the end of the letter, which, first of all, it started off.
I was
Really
I was
eerie.
in for it. Hell,
Yeah,
19 what?
1919.
Okay, so I'm in there like
Yeah.
swimwear. But then he lost me with the nether regions.
I've got the devil on my speed dial. I know earthly time.
the-
I love jazz.
Satan follows me on Instagram
Whatever.
and who is this person?
He's the Axman of New Orleans.
Which is who? For those who don't know.
It's never been solved.
What did he do? I'm assuming he murdered people with an axe. That's what I'm trying to get you to
No,
say.
he knit sweaters. Yes. What do you think?
Well, for people who are listening who might not have ever heard of it, they're like, what was he doing? Was he chopping down trees?
No, so he was an axe murderer
Lit.
in New Orleans.
I mean, not.
That's
Lit.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
That's wild. So
I mean, if I was going to Murder someone. That's not the mode I would do it with. It's too
Me
much work.
either.
It's too messy.
It's very messy.
It's very labor intensive.
It is. You're sweaty.
Might get a splinter in your hand. I'm out.
I didn't even think
See?
about that. That didn't even cross my mind.
So yeah, I'm out for that. Well, this is a heavy hitter you've got.
It is. And like, I know this is one we've always wanted to do. So I think I hyped it up a lot in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's wild, but it's not as many murders as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, it's horrible. But I was like,
Right.
oh, it's over.
Isn't that horrible
Cool.
in our culture where it's like, it's only like 6 murders or whatever? Like,
Right.
But if you think of how much it gets hyped up, not only between us, but like on history tours and
Oh, yeah.
in the media, you'd think it'd be like hundreds of people.
Yes.
But
Like,
I'm
I was getting like
excited.
Jack the Ripper, H.H. Holmes vibes.
Yeah.
Which I think they were the same person, but that's
A
for
lot
another
of
podcast.
people do actually.
There's a lot of evidence that supports that. Any hooser. Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay.
So that night will forever go down in history as Jazz Night because, I mean, the response from the city obviously is insane. If you're a jazz musician on that Tuesday night,
So this got published in the newspaper?
yes, which a lot of people criticized the newspaper for a lot because I think it was the New Orleans Times-Picayune that published it. A lot of people were super mega pissed that they published that.
What if this was all just a crazy ploy to get jazz music on more radio stations? Today's episode is sponsored by Jeff Leschere, founder and managing attorney for Fleur de Lis Law and Title. Jeff is an estate planning and real estate attorney with 20 years experience and literally tens of thousands of clients served. Fleur de Lis Law and Title offers client-specific and tailored services at affordable prices. I can attest to this because I just bought a house and now I'm poor. They want to become your attorney for life and help formulate your estate plan that fits your life now and in the future. They want to be there for you and your family, whether you're purchasing your first home, that's me, having your first tiny human, or preparing to retire. Fleur de Lis Law and Title will be there in every stage of life. You can find them online at fdltitle.com or stop in and visit one of their convenient 7 locations across Southeast Louisiana. You can also check them out on TikTok and Instagram, where they give daily free advice on estate planning and real estate. Thank you to our friends at Fleur de Lis Law and Title. Quite literally, I would not have a house if it wasn't for you. Appreciate you.
I'm gonna
Like,
go
what
through
if this
my
is
theories
what if
at the
this is a
end.
off the wall genius marketing move by somebody at the radio station?
You are taking one of my theories.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I love it. I love it. Now, to really like understand the fear and everything, we have to start at the beginning because that
Mhm.
letter wasn't the thing that sparked everything.
Right.
Right? Because if you're publishing a letter,
It was in response to something.
exactly. So the first known attack attributed to the Axeman occurred on March 23rd, 1918, which was about a year, close to a year before the letter came out.
Okay.
The victims were Joseph Maggio and Catherine Maggio, a married couple that owned a grocery store. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Were they immigrants?
So they were Italian Americans.
Okay.
And they were found in their home brutally attacked with an axe that belonged to them. Keep that in. Pin that as well.
So
the axe was owned by the people.
It was Professor Plum in the library
With a candlestick.
with a candlestick.
Period.
Okay.
Catherine's throat had been slashed with a straight razor before she was brutally attacked with an axe.
I mean, I guess thanks, because then she didn't have to go through that, but come on, bro.
I don't know. I don't think you die instantly.
You don't?
Ugh. Joseph succumbed to his injuries shortly after being found, but Catherine obviously.
Who found them? Does it say?
I didn't put that in my show notes for that specifically, but I'm pretty sure it was one of their children.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the 2 things I want you to remember?
That they owned a grocery store,
Yes.
and that it was their axe.
Correct.
A lot of people got axe. I don't have an axe. Do I need an axe as a homeowner?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to be chopping wood or anything.
No. God, no. Well, the axe being owned by the victim and a chisel being left at the back door is something that is going to reoccur.
The chisel was it used to like break into the house?
Yes. Which this is all going to add up to one of my theories as well.
Okay.
Investigators found a chisel near the back door where a panel had been carved out and it was kind of like a eerie calling card, I think, to the police because he does a lot of things to mock the police.
Bro, imagine being a police officer back then, like with no science.
No.
You just went off of vibes.
Literally. Good golly.
You're like
back in the 20s.
Let me go down here and, finger wag and smoke a cigarette and do some old gumshoe detective work.
And they dance to jazz like this.
With their fingers?
Period.
They were just like, you know what, Sonny? I think he did it. They just went off of gut feelings and vibes.
Do you follow that girl on TikTok that always acts like she's on the 20 and she's like, this isn't gin, this is motor oil. And it's so, I love her. I wish I had her name.
But no, I know exactly who you're talking about, where she pretends to be a flapper from the 20s.
Yes. And she's always like,
yes,
all the time. Anywho's. Over the next year and a half, the Axeman struck several more times. The attacks followed a pattern: a chiseled out panel on the door, an axe often found at the crime scene, which the axe was owned by the victim. Also, I don't know that many people with axes. I mean, I guess in the modern day we have chainsaws.
I think a lot of people had to have axes because they chopped firewood for their homes and for their stoves and stuff.
I'd never make it. Good God.
Caleb, gotta go chop some wood to make dinner with. Caleb's
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. What?
That's too damn bad. You keep digging.
No. Ugh. Also, the victims were almost all of the victims were Italian immigrants or Italian Americans.
Don't like that.
Exactly, because that initially led investigators to two different theories.
Okay.
One being it's racially motivated, which get over yourself.
Right.
You're not better than anyone else. The other one, maybe it was like Italian immigrant or Italian American crime on Italian immigrant
Crime
American
on crime. Like mafia?
Yes, because New Orleans was well known for organized crime.
Which you covered in your last episode.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like
the call was coming from inside the house.
Basically. Like they were doing things against each other, but it was also making the police force like, hey, look over there, look over there.
So you're not worried about our racketeering and our rum running and stuff.
Exactly.
I see what you mean.
Because like, are you going to be that upset about like, I run a speakeasy and an illegal casino?
This isn't gin, this is motor oil.
Exactly.
But there's an axe murderer.
Like gas station, or are you going to go with the axe murderer?
Right.
Exactly.
It is now time for the portion of the show called Stop Embarrassing Yourself. You're pronouncing that wrong. Caleb, what is today's word of the day? Bless you, Jonah.
God bless you. You good, brother?
He really tried so hard to hold it in. Bless you. It's okay. Let it out, bud.
Poor thing.
Caleb, what's the word of the day?
Mine's technically two words, but it's the Holy Trinity.
Oh.
Which in Louisiana, that could mean two things. But mainly, it's what we cook with.
Which is what?
It's celery, bell pepper, and onions. It's like the three things that you always having like gumbo for sure. It's really good. And it's now I'm salivating.
I do love a bell pepper.
I'm not a big bell pepper fan. Like stuffed pepper.
Meat, I love it.
Grow up and make jambalaya. Better.
Well, stuffed pepper is basically like dirty rice and a pepper. It's good.
Be jambalaya or be nothing. Whatever. Well, the word of the day is the Holy Trinity.
Nice.
Thanks.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
So in July 1918, 2 months after the Maggio murders, another grocer, Louis Bessemer, and his mistress, Harriet Lowe, were attacked in a similar fashion.
Great name.
Louis, I don't know if I want to say Louise or Louis. It's not spelled like Louisa's name.
I would say, let's just say Louis.
Louis. Okay, so Louis survived his injuries. Honestly, work.
I hope he had like workers' comp. What were his injuries? Do you know?
It was a super bad skull fracture.
Oh, buddy.
That sucks. While Harriet died from complications a few weeks later. Harriet accused Louis for being the axe murderer. Which, like,
how are you going to hit your own self with an axe?
Are you that committed to the character, you little method actor? Absolutely not. Like, if I'm the axe murderer and I kill you, I'm not going to be like,
oh no, yeah,
and like stab myself in the shoulder just to make it look like it couldn't be me.
And I would give myself a flesh wound, not a head wound.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What?
I
wonder if it was somebody that looked like him and she got confused.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be judgmental or draw conclusions, but like, you're his mistress and you're accusing him of being the axe murderer.
Maybe there were other motivations at play.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, every garbage can has its lid. So I don't know.
Every pot's got its lid.
But there wasn't enough evidence to do anything. So he was acquitted. Because like,
he's like, I have half my brain. I need to go now.
Literally. Was Tylenol invented back then? Probably not. They probably were like, here's this new drug called cocaine.
Well, no, but really, it was like they were drinking, what is it called? Absinthe and stuff.
Have you ever had absinthe?
It's disgusting.
It's wild.
It tastes like a piece of licorice fell on the floor and then you used your tongue to pick it up off the floor.
Yeah.
Is what it tastes like. And I paid way too much money at the old Absinthe House to drink it. It's Old Absinthe House, if you're listening. I'm sorry. I know that's your shtick. It's disgusting.
It's not good. Sorry, that might be someone's cup of tea.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but you're wrong.
Period. So. This isn't absinthe. This is motor oil. The Axeman's reach seemed almost supernatural, which that's a very big theory too. I'm jumping ahead of myself.
That it was a ghost?
That he literally was like kikiing with like the devil.
Well, back then when things could not be explained, they were like, well, I guess it's a ghost. Like that was how, when science couldn't explain something, they were like, oh, like a hurricane hit, like God's mad at us or whatever. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like they just didn't know.
Like the witch trials.
Yeah.
That girl can do math.
Witch.
Right.
You can do multiplication tables, witch.
Ugh. This episode is brought to you by the artistic genius and angels on earth at Revival Art House. Craving a soulful art experience? Look no further than Revival Art House in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Dana Bro and Lane Spears, local artists and dynamic duo behind Revival Showcase, over 250 plus local artists and crafters. From fine art paintings to local handmade gifts, Revival has something for everyone. Revival is not just an art gallery, it's a community hub for art lovers. With new pieces arriving daily, Revival is never the same twice. I can attest to that.
Yes, I love this place.
Visit revivalarthouse.com, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or stop by their location right on the railroad tracks in Ponchatoula, Louisiana, and let the art speak to your soul.
Let the art speak to your soul, man.
Anywho, the Axeman's reach seemed almost supernatural. His victims would be found bloodied and beaten in their own beds, with no one hearing the killer approach, hearing the killer leave. The weapon of choice was always an axe or a razor, then an axe.
Okay.
It was always left behind.
Okay.
And it was always owned by victim. What?
My thing too is let's assume it wasn't a ghost, it was the same person. If you're attacking somebody with an axe, you're getting stuff on you. How did nobody see a random person running around at night with blood all over them?
Had to be a change of clothes or something.
Had to bring a change of clothes? They thought it through. Like, what's that movie? American Psycho, where he literally puts on like Visqueen.
Yes. Because at the end, I'm very proud of myself for the end of this episode.
You posited some theories?
I worked at the end of this one.
With the E, work.
Yes, work. Hashtag work. Like, got into it, and I think I figured out why he was able to escape all the time.
Okay, I'm ready.
I really think I did.
We might be solving the Axman murders on this podcast.
Literally. If only we had a name.
If only we knew who it was.
Yeah. So after that, the infamous letter came,
Okay.
which again, the Times-Picayune was like heavily criticized for publishing it. But why would you not?
That's going to sell every newspaper you got.
Exactly. Like from a business standpoint, boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo.
Get over it.
Get your papers. How much were papers? Like a nickel or something?
Probably like, is there a monetary value less than a penny?
Is it a sick? I don't know.
Like, I don't know. Everything was so cheap. Anyway, on March 19th, 1919, that's the Tuesday, the jazz night that rolled around. So people that were like broke poor were still spending money to get, if they couldn't even get a band, they would try to get like a phonograph or like at least one person who played an instrument that was usually found in a jazz band. Or blah, blah, blah. Like it was the first time in the city that no matter where you went, jazz music was playing.
They were like, oh, so-and-so plays the piano at church. Call him. He needs to come spend the night here.
Right.
Interesting.
Which if you're a jazz musician that
Hey,
night,
you're making some tips.
You're another theory of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So no murders occur that night. Which, if I'm the Axeman, I'm not going to murder that night anyway. Because there's no way every household had jazz going on. There's no way. Kelly Morse wouldn't have done that. He'd be like,
my pronouns are Glock and 57.
You want my gun?
Come and take it.
Like, there's no way. Dad would be like, just to piss him off, hey, Siri, play Merle Haggard.
Uh-huh.
Play Ronnie Millsap. Anyway.
Ronnie Millsap.
I love
Is he
Ronnie
dead?
Millsap,
Is he
if
dead?
you're listening. No.
Okay. I truly did not know.
He just released like a duet album with Casey Musgraves.
And it's probably lit.
Oh, my Lord.
Ronnie Millsap, if you're listening.
And Casey. Met Casey one time.
Mm-hmm.
She's really sweet. Really not. She told, it was right after Ida. She said, I'm praying for all y'all down in Louisiana.
Please
and
do.
I was like, thank you, sweet angel baby.
Please keep praying. We need help.
So no murders occurred that night. And the Axeman's letter, bizarre and as horrifying as it was, it seemed to kind of like hold true.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It became legit.
Yeah. But if the city thought they were safe, they were super duper mega wrong because the attacks resumed shortly after. The next known victims were Sarah Lumen and Charles Cortemiglia, which chisel through the back door panel, axe murder.
Their axe.
And in my research, I didn't put it in here, but like I also found that the cops said the later down the road we get with these murders, the crime scene's not making sense when you get to the actual scene where it happened.
Meaning what?
So it seemed to have been like a psychopath, obviously, or like almost like a crime of passion. Like it had the characteristics of a crime of passion, but usually when it's a crime of passion, you know the person you're killing.
Murder and suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it didn't add up because none of these people were related. None of these separate victims were related, besides a lot of them being grocery store owners and being Italian. So they would get up to like the bed where the couple would be murdered. And like if the bed was 30 feet from the adjacent wall, there was blood all over the adjacent wall. So it was like he was murdering them and then for funsies just being like splat, like everywhere. Just to like cause confusion.
Because if you're in a crime of passion, you're not thinking in the moment, like, let me fling blood over here and blood over there.
Exactly.
Okay,
I
see
think
what
he
you
was
mean.
just a psycho.
He was just messing with people.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, where was I?
Chris.
Oh, Chris. I'm so good at that and it's so creepy.
That's from what's his name?
Herbert the
Pervert.
Yeah.
I can never think of his name. I just say the old man from Family Guy.
Herbert the Pervert.
Do it again.
Chris. Where's my muscle on paper, boy? I'm good at that. Any hooser.
This episode is sponsored by our friends at 22 Aesthetics. Self-care is not an expense. It's an investment. And at 22 Aesthetics, they have a vested interest in you. If you're struggling with sun damage, hyperpigmentation, facial veins, or redness, have they been reading my diaries? Or wanting to get rid of unwanted hair, they deliver corrective and transformative laser treatments to revitalize your appearance. Their precise laser hair removal services are safe for all skin types, and they also perform intense pulse light treatments, aka IPL. Heard of it? I have, which is a non-invasive procedure that uses light energy to improve the appearance of your skin. Sounds like alien technology, and I'm there for it. If you're tired of looking tired, with hooded eyelids, dull skin, and deep-set wrinkles, it's for you. Check out their before and after photos on Instagram and Facebook and trust 22 Aesthetics with your skin rejuvenation. Call or DM them to schedule your me time at 985-201-3855. Thank you, 22 Aesthetics.
Okay. Period. We're back. So Charles and Rosie were a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So in the case of Charles and his wife, Rosie, the brutality extended also to their young daughter, Mary, who was tragically killed.
Leave Mary out of it.
And like, Mary was
Mm-hmm.
like a baby.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, it's a lot. Rosie survived the attack
Let's
and
go,
accused
Rosie.
another local grocer, which is one of my theories.
So you think it was a local grocer trying to get rid of the competition?
Yes. Like in my head, and the police might have done this. I don't know. But I would look at other grocery store owners within like a 50-mile radius and see what family has not had a murder happen.
And who were you and who can account for your whereabouts on these nights?
Exactly.
Were you counting bananas or were you, taking inventory of your store, or does nobody know where you were?
Exactly. So Rosie accused another local grocer. His name was, and I'm about to butcher this name, but Lorlando Giordano.
Sure.
Honestly.
Sounds right to me.
And his son. So this is the only case to where someone saw them, saw the murderer and accused two people of doing it together.
I thought about that too, because if you were one person attacking two people at the same time in this way, meaning it's not with a gun. So like,
it's not super quick.
I can't go boom, boom. If I'm coming at you, Hatchet City, and Jonah's over there, he's got time to get away unless I've got some help.
Right.
Right. So
Exactly.
or unless I'm like Superwoman and I can fling and hit him.
John Henry.
Yeah.
John Henry. Like with two at the same time.
So that makes sense that you say that she said it was two people.
Yeah. That's true. Man, that's true. I never thought about that part.
Yeah, because
there was like that first swing better be precise.
You better hit me dead on.
Yeah, like it better be
or I'm
quick.
getting out of this house.
That's crazy.
I don't want to limp away from nothing. You better hit me dead on or I will get out.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, due to inconsistencies in her story and lack of evidence, they're released.
Cool.
So once again,
going off vibes.
The Axeman's just like like just doing whatever he wants to do. The final known murder attributed to the Axeman occurred on October 27th, 1919, when Mike Pepitone was found dead in his bedroom. His wife reportedly saw a shadowy figure fleeing the scene, but like so many of the others before, the killer disappeared into the night, leaving behind a gruesome scene, a grieving family, and the family's own axe.
That's it?
Like, oh no, we're still getting into some.
Oh, I was
theories.
like, please tell me more.
No. So after Mike Pepitone's murder, the Axeman seems to have just like vanished. So some people believe that he left New Orleans, moved to a different city, or even a different country.
To go build his grocery store empire. If this is
I was literally about to say, what if it's Walmart?
No, don't put that out there. We might get axed.
Walmart, if you're listening. Other thinks that he just died or was imprisoned for like
something else,
unrelated crime. But then there's other people who think he was not human. Because I mean, again, back then, if you can't think of anything else, it's like,
it was a ghost.
Must have been a ghost or the devil or blah, blah, blah. But like, you'd be shocked at how many people back then thought he was like a demon.
My thing too is if we're going with the grocer theory, Why worry about writing a letter? Like, why do you care about jazz music so much if your shtick is that you're a grocery store owner? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And like one of my theories at one point was like maybe he was a jazz artist and wanted
Who
to make some money. But then I thought that's a lot of trouble to go through. That's a lot of murders that you have to commit just to like showcase your band.
what if, here we go,
Okay.
it's a father and son grocer. And the father is like, we're going to do these murders to grow our empire. And the son's like, being a grocer is your dream, Dad. I want to be a musician.
Oh my God.
And like, he wants to go with his jam band. And so he's like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to get some gigs for my band while I'm at it. I don't know.
And maybe call my dad, the
But
grocer.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a theory.
Mm-hmm. What does Caleb Morse think happened? Today's episode is sponsored by Jeff Leschere, founder and managing attorney for Fleur de Lis Law and Title. Jeff is an estate planning and real estate attorney with 20 years experience and literally tens of thousands of clients served. Fleur de Lis Law and Title offers client-specific and tailored services at affordable prices. I can attest to this because I just bought a house and now I'm poor. They want to become your attorney for life and help formulate your estate plan that fits your life now and in the future. They want to be there for you and your family, whether you're purchasing your first home, that's me, having your first tiny human, or preparing to retire. Fleur de Lis Law and Title will be there in every stage of life. You can find them online at fdltitle.com or stop in and visit one of their convenient 7 locations across Southeast Louisiana. You can also check them out on TikTok and Instagram, where they give daily free advice on estate planning and real estate. Thank you to our friends at Fleur de Lis Law and Title. Quite literally, I would not have a house if it wasn't for you. Appreciate you. I like the grocery theory, but then the letter doesn't make sense to me.
I like it, but I went down this route of like a very troubled genius a little bit, just because I feel like there was definitely some mental illness going on there.
If the killer did write the letter, he's definitely well educated.
Yes.
Like, was there spelling errors in the
No.
letter? So he's read a lot of books. He knows what
He knew what the word ether was.
or nether regions or whatever.
I had to look up ether.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to trip.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. I look it up.
So that's a good point. It's got to be somebody who's educated.
Very, because do you know what I did after I kind of like came to the end of my research and stuff?
Had a sandwich?
Probably, honestly. But I decided to start geocoding every location of every murder. Just because I was like, okay, they say it's the Axman of New Orleans, but like, what if he was killing in like Harahan or Gretna or
Caleb's
like
triangulating.
Kenner? Yeah. So I was like, is it actually New Orleans? And if so, did he ever like go hit up like the West Bank? Like, you know what I mean? So when I pinpointed all of these locations, I noticed 2 facts. Every murder happened at a residence that was on a corner, which I think in my head, if you're doing that, if you're on a corner, you have at least 2 streets you can escape.
You have
on
2 exit points
easily.
or escape routes.
Exactly. Unless you're at the corner at a 4-way, then you've got 4.
Right.
So there's multiple ways to escape if you're at a corner. Then I also realized that every murder happened on a corner that was within 5 blocks of the streetcars, like main line.
So they were using the streetcars.
He was, I think.
So you think it was one person?
I think it was one person. I don't think, even I like that. I think her name was Rosie, the one that said it was 2 people. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a great point, though, because he had to get away quick. And if you're trying to get away and nobody see you, you're going to go hop on the streetcar like me in St. Louis and hang on to the back of it.
And you know what else you're not thinking about? That makes me think he definitely was using the streetcars. He never took the axe.
Yeah, because you can't take it with you.
If you go on a
because you're getting on a public streetcar
and you have an axe that's full of blood,
and you're not a butcher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it was one person. I think he brought a change of clothes
Mm-hmm.
because he also
Did they ever
never
find?
stole anything.
Did they ever find bloody clothes at the scenes?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I say no. They didn't talk about it. But like, he also never stole anything from any of these victims.
So it wasn't motivated by robbery.
No. So I think that it was one person, and I think he used streetcars.
Caleb, that's very intuitive.
Isn't that crazy? I was like, hold up. It was, I don't know.
That's very smart. So
I've added that to the list of things I'm going to ask God when I get to heaven.
right.
Like,
Amelia Earhart, Axman of New Orleans.
yes.
All that good stuff. Who killed JFK? Aliens.
Hey, listen to the episode before this about
Right.
the mafia that I did.
That was really good. I'm very impressed by those observations. Does anybody else, like, are there historians or other people who have posited like a person? Like, have they ever come close to even suspecting a person?
No. And like, I even went so far as to like start YouTubing like ghost tour guides and their
Mm-hmm.
view on the Axeman. And because, I mean, that's a really, I don't want to talk bad about that industry because that's a really big industry in New Orleans, but they do like to embellish.
Well, yeah.
So like, I was like, let me just throw noodles at the wall, see what sticks or whatever. So I know one of these ghost tour guides are going to have at least a name or something, and they didn't.
Yeah.
A lot of them say he was a demon, but
Is that the only letter he ever wrote?
yep.
That's great. But can't you look up like what it looks like when they printed it on the internet? Like, can't you look up pictures of the newspaper?
I mean, I'm sure I could.
I think I've seen it before where they printed the letter on like the front page. I would love to have a copy of one of those newspapers.
I didn't know they did that.
I'm sure.
Could they do that back in 1919?
I mean, like now we would have a photo of one of the old newspapers.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what you mean.
Yes.
Not like a copy of the letter he
No,
wrote.
like no one took a selfie with it. That's not what I mean.
Okay, I was confused. So, yeah.
Axeman, if you're listening, we'd love to know. Caleb, you posited some very interesting theories. I'm going to go.
I know.
I like the grocery theory.
Well, another big theory was the mob thing because, I mean, organized crime was rocking and rolling.
You could get away
in
with
New Orleans.
anything.
Oh, yeah. Before like DNA was used.
Mm-hmm. Well, fingerprinting wasn't around till years after this, just basic fingerprinting. What?
Sorry, there was a fly.
Okay.
That's, I don't know.
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
I know. I was so excited to get to the end because I was like, you are about to be so impressed because I looked like one of those crazy people that had like the strings.
The strings?
Like, yes. Yes. So like it's all making sense.
My theories.
Exactly.
My strings. No, I enjoyed that. You know what I think hyped it up for us too was that season of American Horror Story where the hot old man was the Axman of New Orleans.
And I'm a feminist and I just love that a whole bunch of like gals killed him.
In the show.
Yeah.
But yes. I need to rewatch that season of American Horror Story.
Oh, I think I'm gonna rewatch that tonight when I get home over my bowl of chili.
Oh, that mom and dad made chili?
Mom did. Dad has tennis.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna go to tennis after this. I'm too tired.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, buddy, that was really good.
Thanks.
I enjoyed that. And I'm excited. What's crazy is I think we have some sibling telepathy kind of going on because for the next episode from my story also involves axe murder.
Shut up. Really?
Go to bed. It's for real.
I love that.
I know. And
Okay.
and we never tell each other
What we're gonna
beforehand.
do.
Now we do tell like our parents or my husband in case one of us decides to do the same thing. Like we do tell like an in-between person, but we try our best to keep this as like authentic as possible. So that was very good. Cheers to you for doing a heavy hitter.
Thanks.
Before we end, we're going to say a few thank yous. I have a list of
Nice.
people. First, Sweet Baton Rouge. Thanks for the shirts.
Love y'all.
Love you. 3 Magnolias & Co. Custom Hat Bar, Florida Lee Law and Title, 22 Aesthetics, and Revival Art House. Thank you for supporting the pod, friends of the pod.
Thanks, peeps.
Keep downloading, keep listening. If anybody has any stories they would like to share or suggestions or just general merriment,
Send it in.
You can email us at thebigbadboot@gmail.com. And until then, remember, God made you.
And the Rougarou too.
So be kind to one another.
Bye.
Bye.
The Big Bad Boot is produced by Lettuce Media and edited by Mallory and Jonah.
Our music was produced by Macro Tracks. Our super cool logo was designed by AWC Graphics. And our sense of humor and childhood trauma was sponsored by Kelly and Abby Morse.